Is it Pauper Drake? The plague of our format. You cannot play Pauper and expect not to face the Drake. And it is a battle you will probably lose. Luckily, that's why they emergency banned Drake and Pauper, saving the best budget format for Magic the Gathering in the process. Oh snap, Pauper's back, baby. Mono green Stompy has long been one of the dominating decks of the format. It even turned out consistent results during the reign of Drake and the many dark years of Cloud of Fairies being legal in the format. Now, with Drake completely out of the way, Stompy is poised to stomp the opposition once and for all. Best of all, mono green Stompy is a deck that can be built for as little as $40 to $45. If you're interested in buying the cards shown here or any other singles for that matter, be sure to check out this channel's sponsor, Card Kingdom, via our affiliate link in the description. All prices in this video shown are Card Kingdom prices. Mono green Stompy for Pauper is an aggro deck that uses recursion, evasion, and pump spells to beat down your opponent into submission. The deck runs a playset of Skargan Pit Skulks. Creatures with power less than Skargan Pit Skulk's power can't block it. With Bloodthirst 1, if an opponent was dealt damage the turn you summon it, it'll come into play with a 1/1 counter already on it. When combined with this deck's enchantments and pump spells, as you'll see in a minute, it's very easy to ensure the Pit Skulk is constantly beating down without any way to be blocked. The deck also runs a playset of Vault Scourge, which for 2 life from Phyrexian mana and 1 gets you a 1/1 flying lifelink. Scourge is a nightmare to deal with, especially when pumped with everything from Rancor to Vines of Vastwood. Not only is it hard for your opponent to answer due to flying, but as you gain life each attack, you are less and less likely to fall to 0 and lose. Now, some builds of mono green Stompy only run 2 Vault Scourge, and instead run a full playset of Nettle Sentinel, but I only run 2 Sentinels. Nettle Sentinel is one of the most expensive cards in this entire deck at $1.99 each. Yeesh! Can you believe some cards here cost nearly $2? What a world. Luckily, I have found great success swapping out 2 Nettle Sentinels for 2 additional Vault Scourges to help keep costs down. But hey, if you are rolling in money, you can always try and optimize this deck with a playset of Sentinels instead. Big roller. Sentinel is a 2/2 for 1 green that does not untap during your upkeep, and instead needs a green spell to be cast in order to untap it. This intended drawback can actually be advantageous, letting you untap Sentinel during your second main phase when you cast a creature spell, or as a combat trick for an unexpected blocker during one of your opponent's attacks. 2 Basking Root Walla for a 1/1 for 1 green that we can pump up to 3/3 by spending only 2 additional mana. 2 Garruk's Companion, a 3/2 trample for only 2 green. Again, with the pump spells that you're going to see in a moment, that trample becomes a big problem. We're also going to run 2 River Boa, a 2/1 for 2 with Island Walk that can regenerate itself for only 1 green. Obviously, regeneration is great protection, and the Island Walk is very relevant with Delver decks dominating. It'll directly dissolve their defenses. Definitely. The deck also runs 2 Wild Mongrel and 4 Young Wolf. The Young Wolves have Undying, meaning that if they are placed into the graveyard with no counters on them, they are returned to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter. Imagine casting one, attaching Rancor on it, trading with an opponent's creature, only to have Young Wolf come back as a 2/2. Rancor snaps right back to your hand and you just recast it on the wolf. Wild Mongrel is a 2/2 for 2, but you can discard a card to give it +1/+1 and make it the color of your choice until end of turn. Great for finishing the game. The deck also runs 2 Silhana Ledgewalker, a 1/1 with hexproof that can't be blocked except by creatures with flying. Bogle players already know the power of this card. In fact, it's what makes Bogles a viable deck in Pauper as well. But the evasion and the fact it can't be targeted for removal makes this a major headache for our opponents. Next up, the deck runs a full playset of Quirion Ranger. Our other costly piece at, oh my gosh, $1.79 each? So costly. No wonder Wizards of the Coast does not want to promote this format. Cost aside, we want to run a full set of Ranger for 2 reasons. First and foremost is mana. Ranger works against being short on mana by letting us return a forest to our hand in exchange for untapping a target creature. Yes, the other reason we run this is this can essentially give an attacking creature vigilance, which is nice, but it also lets us tap a forest on a turn where we missed a land drop, return that forest to our hand, and then play that forest and tap for an additional mana, often allowing us to get a critical spell cast while we wait to stabilize. So what pump spells do we run? Obviously a full play set of Rancor, giving an enchanted creature +2 and trample, and returning to our hand if it is placed in the graveyard from the battlefield. A full play set of Groundswell as well, an amazing card that can give target creature +4/+4 if a land entered the battlefield under our control this turn. Hey, that's another reason that Ranger is so important, as it can ensure we always have landfall for this spell. While we're at it, a play set of Vines of Vastwood, letting us give one of our creatures hexproof, and when kicked, a full +4/+4, yikes. 2 mutagenic growths, which can be cast just by paying life if need be, pumping target creature +2/+2. I also like to run a single Bone Splitter in here. It's an equipment for 1 that we can equip for 1, and it'll give our equipped creature +2/+0. It's also smart to mainboard 1 Gleeful Sabotage, to answer artifacts and enchantments, often answering 2 of them. What about the mana base? Prepare yourselves, the mana base is 16 forests. Did I mention how much I love the Pauper format yet? Let me restate that. As always, your sideboard is highly flexible, but I recommend Epic Confrontation for our own form of targeted removal, and it's one that gives our creatures a pump in the process. Flying absolutely destroys us, and so in answer to that, I run 2 aerial volleys and a play set of Scattershot Archers. A lot of decks will play with that ratio, of course. The remaining spots go for 3 more Gleeful Sabotage for when we're up against Affinity, and in that situation, we're going to want to put in 2 Natural State as well. Also, a single Relic of Progenitus for stopping graveyard shenanigans. Mono Green Stompy has long been the premier deck of Pauper. It's highly unlikely to fall out of favor anytime soon. It's cheap, powerful, easy to pilot, and for this affordable price, you too can stomp your way to success. While Pauper is primarily played on Magic Online, many local game stores have been having explosive success running Paper Pauper tournaments. In fact, this Saturday, Card Kingdom will be running its regular Rags to Riches tournament. It's where Pauper players and Paper can play for big prizes, and it is a hit. If you are in the Seattle area this Saturday, you can stop by for the next Rags to Riches tournament, or if you're viewing this video later on in life, check Card Kingdom's website for the next tournament. I hope very much this video has been of some help to you. You can help me out by remembering to like, share, subscribe, or just by leaving a message. What deck would you like to see a tech on next? Let me know in the comments below. And this video has been brought to you in part by a sponsorship from Card Kingdom, as well as the Patreon support of viewers like you. So thank you.